Activity. It's so amazing. I have books that are amazing. I highly recommend you get them. 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. Even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job, or you're on welfare, it can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage. That's what I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame. Scam. How the black leadership exploits black Americans. They are using them, and blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663. Isn't he Mexican?
Colombia.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on America's soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. How you doing, everybody? Appreciate you tuning in today on this fine Thursday. And what a fine Thursday it is to be back with you today. What a pleasure and an absolute pleasure to be back with you. Not deported. You don't know that. Don't talk in the chat about any such details. Where am I streaming from? The location, as far as you know, this is just a screen behind me. But I'm back with you today, live in the chair. And appreciate everybody tuning in today. Got a bit of a show. We're going to get into it here. That and your calls and everything else on this fine Thursday. The weeks are flying. Day 3, Trump. And I'm back with you today. So 888-775-3773 if you want to call the Anchor Baby and talk about whatever you want to talk about here. Some of you already kind of talking about it in the chat. It's telling me that it is in the minds of many of the viewers, of the voters, those in the know, those who've been even just paying attention a little bit. It seems like everybody's got an opinion. Even already, reactions to the title of today's episode, everyone's forming their opinion. They got their eyes on Musk, Elon Musk. Their eyes are on Musk. And some of those eyes are going like this. Some of those eyes are like, I don't know. That's what some of the eyes are doing. They're going like halfway where you're only seeing, some of them are going like this, like Sampaku eyes, like what? Like, but those people are, they've been like this for a long time. Sampaku eyes. The government. Like, so. What did Elon do? Some have no idea. Some are living in peace and bliss without worrying or caring about the little fights that people are having or internal fights that the right wing is having in this particular case. And I've spoken a little bit about this and the new faces around Trump. And now with 3 days with Trump so far as the president, with what seems like, wins and wins, I want to take a moment to maybe describe, maybe kind of lay out how some feel here. I think we are also in a special position because I've brought you all up to speed on some of the things going on, like the fight with Elon Musk and MAGA and H1B. We've talked about some of the names here, so I think my viewers here if you guys have been following the show, are in a perfect position for me to kind of explain what's going on here. And I think it's important, or that's at least interesting to me. But it does have some significance because the voices I'm talking about are, I think, more than just far right or people on the internet. I think it's enough so it's even significant enough that some of this has gotten to Trump, has gotten to Elon Musk. I've described this to you. And so it has a significance, a pull, and a gravity here in this political world and space and these things that are happening. I want to, and some of it may be confusing to some, especially those who, they saw Trump win. It's like, didn't we win? What's going on? Why are people mad? I want to maybe dispel the confusion for you, kind of bring you up to speed, give you some of my thoughts on it. What part really interests me? And what part I think people are kind of getting, one little aspect I think people are getting wrong, and give the voice, and also kind of describe and give a voice to what people are maybe missing. So anyways, the tech right, we'll get into it here. We got plenty of other things to get into, all sorts of videos. And so if you guys want to call in, talk to the Anchor Baby, 888-775-3773. And, we got stuff to get into, super chats and all that. Okay, so what can we do now? We'll do this. We'll start it off. We'll just start it. We'll just get right into it, honestly, because there's some trouble brewing. I don't know if it's trouble, as it is more like reactions, and people just be reactions. Some good stuff like discourse and real high IQ arguments happening. But let's just summarize it as trouble. Trouble brewing in the right wing. But how? How can it be, right? How can there be trouble? I thought we won. It's 3 days of Trump. Men are men, women are women now. Right? It's January 23rd, 2025, and men are men and women are women again. Wow, how was it done? It was done by executive order. You excuse my laughing a little bit because you don't just change minds just like that. But it's a big thing. It's called influence. It's called direction. It's called taking the mic. But anyways, 2025, January 23rd, 2025, the border is secure, right? Or it's being secured. The ICE raids are happening, Tom Homan said. January 23rd, and DEI has been dismantled already. How can it be? I thought we were winning. Why? How can there be trouble? Why are people mad? So I want to describe this conflict in a little bit of detail. And I guess we could start with Elon Musk. You probably know about him by now, right? You guys know about Elon Musk a bit. South African born. Canadian mother. Born in South Africa. South African father. Canadian mother from Saskatchewan. Shout out Saskatchewan. So, it grows up a bit in South Africa. Moves to Canada, goes to university, gets educated, goes to University of Pennsylvania, becomes an H-1B visa worker in the U.S., actually. Thanks to the H-1B, he's mentioned this himself, but yeah, thanks to the H-1B visa worker program, he was a highly skilled worker in America. That was his pathway where over years, that's how it works. You could prove that you're an asset, that you're making money, that you have, there are different ways that you prove this in your immigration process. You get a green card, you become a citizen, all that. Trump uses this. I mean, Elon Musk makes good use of this citizenship, this green card, this H-1B. He makes quite good use of it. Makes PayPal, makes bank. Kills it, sells it to eBay, makes money. Founded SpaceX 2002. Just a little intro if you guys didn't know about him. It's a little significant. 2002 starts SpaceX. So you can gather just how much Elon Musk has had maybe interaction with the government over the years. You don't just have a space company like that, a space exploration rocket. You don't just do that without approvals and all that. We're talking about government. So over the years, he's maintained and developed a relationship with a lot of people in the government. Besides that, a lot of people don't know, or a lot of people don't remember, Elon Musk's relationship with Trump started in 2016. And this is despite Elon Musk being one of the guys out there saying, Trump is not the right guy. He's quoted as saying, "Hey, he voted for Hillary," just so you know. If you remember, he voted for her. He stood with her. Elon Musk, he's a liberal, or he was, right? And so he voted for Hillary. He stood with her. Trump's not the right guy. This is like right before Trump's getting elected, You got to take in just how many people were like, this is not a serious person. This is not a serious candidate. They were Republican. They were Democrats. They were in the government. They were out of the government. They were just commenters on the, trusted voices on the radio or on the internet. And they were like, nah, this Trump guy's not a serious person. It's not going to happen. So you can understand Musk. Yes, even Musk, swept up by opinions around him. Could it be that? Could it be that? I want you to remember that. Keep that in the back of your mind. So he maintained his relationship with the government over the years. Trump actually named him. He actually names Musk as part of his advisory council, like what he called the Strategic and Policy Forum. And he had Musk there. He was his advisor. You can and it was because Musk was the owner of SpaceX and Tesla. Trump has always worked with a lot of people, and he wants to work with the best, the leaders of industry and tech. That was obvious, and it was reported as well. That's why Musk was part of the team. So Musk would actually soon resign after 2017 when Trump withdrew from the Paris Agreement, the whole climate agreement. Bad deal for America. Trump's obviously the best, ever the deal maker, working for America, doing the work. He saw the Paris Agreement as just a bad deal. Musk, he withdrew. He's like, nah, it's not cool. It's not you got to care for the environment. So, he's a liberal. Musk would soon resign after that. And over the years, his mentality would notably change. He'd endorse Andrew Yang 2018. He'd keep his support very neutral and amorphous, even having a little moment where he sort of supported Kanye West in 2020. And that was the first time Kanye West did, he said he was going to run for president. It was different than the second time that Kanye West ran for president, remember? So he sort of supported Kanye. He just spoke about him positively and his campaign positively a little bit. So he's keeping it neutral. He's moving things around. 2020 comes around. He says he votes for Biden. He said he voted for Biden, but it wasn't so strong. He was like, if there were other candidates, I'd choose somebody else. And I see calls coming in, by the way. Thank you so much. 888-775-3773. Appreciate the patience. I will get to you. Elon Musk, the 2022, Elon Musk is now saying Democrats are the party of division and hate. You could call it a 180, you could call it a flip, but I'm describing over the years the changes in his mentality a little bit, calling the Democratic Party the party of division and hate. He buys Twitter. Says it's for free speech, wants to create a public square. And so far at this point, the first term with Trump happened. The media insanity, COVID, the response, the overreaction. George Floyd, the summer of love, 2020. The 2020 elections, all that. And then Biden. You got 2 years of Biden. You could maybe track some of that mentality change and with Elon Musk and all that. It's funny, all this, he still went for DeSantis. Do you remember this? He saw the Trumpism without Trump that so many were touting at the time. It was like a big establishment FU to the voters, if it seemed like. And so, and an ambitious little venture. They were trying anybody, Haley, DeSantis, and it didn't go too well. Remember they did that X space. He bought Twitter, turns it into X. He's like, we're going to do a first ever presidential candidate space full of tech issues. It was a mess. You would never catch Trump doing something like that. Trump cares about those details. But that's some of the set and setting. So some of the set is setting for this to understand this, because some are calling Elon Musk the enemy. They're saying he's the ops. He may be the ops, Bill. Are you familiar with the term? The opposition. Musk, the ops, ? And honestly, look, if you've been following the show, like I said earlier, I've brought you up to speed on that controversy that blew up over H-1B, the H-1B visa program. You had Donald Trump's set to be the incumbent president, and in the Christmas silence, a crescendo, a bomb goes off on X over this issue. It just didn't seem like very America first to some. And the conversation got all the way to Musk. Musk is saying, I'll defend this. This thanks to H-1B, people like me are here. Y'all defend this to the end so you can go F yourself in the face. And people are like, whoa. Emotions are high. People are arguing. The intellects are out on display. Like, no, anyways, it's a bit of a mess. I thought at least it was fine for discourse, right? Free men talking. I'm not going to go. Why would I go further than that, right? Let the free men talk. Yeah, maybe they're being childish in some cases. But the free men were talking. They were airing out some grievances. And okay, so that's that. Since then, like I said to you the other day, Donald Trump has since basically plainly responded to the H-1B controversy. He's expressed his support for both sides of the argument. I thought that was quite honest. And I think it tracks with the Trump I've seen. It really does. It tracks with the Trump I've seen. But you heard him say, he does. We need the best, the most skilled, and so it's looking like foreign workers H-1B. There may be a conversation over it, but it's happening. Okay, people don't like it. People like it. So he understands arguments from both sides. And when you see the fallout from H-1B and this argument and all that, I think it becomes clear that it's more than just like a far, far right thing, in my opinion. And to understand this a little bit better, you got to understand what these, some maybe aptly named and maybe others not so much named as far right, what they see. So allow me for a moment here to maybe demonstrate this. So there was another trend that kind of blew up during this H-1B stuff, if you remember, and it was this attention on the UK grooming gangs. Now, you might be somewhat aware of this, the Pakistani grooming gangs. It got a lot of attention 2014, over some years over there in the UK. It all came back and went viral. Elon Musk leading the charge. Like, look at these stats, though. Look at the people in the UK government that weren't investigated. What's going on? Okay. So that was all this attention, and critics were pointing out at the time. Critics were pointing out that the calls from Elon Musk and others around him only centered around the public inquiry and the investigation of these UK politicians. But when it came to deportations, demographic replacement, these are Muslims, they don't belong here. Now it's suddenly, whoa, we're not with that. You guys that's racist. All sorts of different moments, if I may, even. Just this 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎, I don't know who she is, but she's all like, repeat after me. They aren't Asian grooming gangs, but Pakistani grooming gangs. This was all during when this was popping off, right? Why should Asians take the fall for one absolute rogue nation? So and then Elon Musk's support of this tweet, him saying true. I'm trying to describe to you what they're seeing. They're saying, wow, see, this guy doesn't get it. It's this guy, it's like, oh yeah, all cultures are, it's just he just doesn't get it. He probably wouldn't have any problem with the replacement of whites, for example, as long as they have the right culture and they work hard and they believe in meritocracy. That's what some people got from this. That his their facts, when they got their facts wrong on H-1B only bringing in the best of the best, they started saying, well, let me see, this guy really isn't with us. He kind of cares about the cheap labor, maybe. It's not really so principled as it's being displayed. So you're following so far? Things got heated on X, and many started reporting, these very same critics started reporting how a lot of these critical accounts started losing their check marks. So now there's rumblings and whispers that Elon Musk is silencing his dissenters, the critics. They're saying he got into some spat with this guy named 𝒂𝒊𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔, a streamer. You see what happened is 𝒂𝒊𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 on Twitter is over gaming. This is over gaming. This is from Yahoo News, and I can't even tell you how accurate this reporting is. You know how these people are. They like starting fights. They pick enemies. Elon Musk is not liked by the media. They pick enemies. But that being said, the reporting is as follows. 𝒂𝒊𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔, this guy on X who is a gamer, a streamer, he's got a lot of followers. He has a challenge for Elon Musk. He's basically saying he's got to prove your skills. He say 𝒂𝒊𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔, who challenged him to prove his skills in exchange for streaming exclusively on X for a year. So he's clashing with Elon Musk. Instead of seizing the opportunity to lure 𝒂𝒊𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔's 3.6 million followers to his platform, Musk leaked the private messages and stripped the streamer of his verification badge. Does Musk have a good reason for that? Maybe. Was it even Musk? I don't know. I'm trying to leave space with all this reporting. But with all this so far and more, I'm trying to demonstrate to you, I'm trying to just paint this picture for you, okay? And so far, if you're watching it from the lens of some, so that we may understand. You now see that on topics like censorship, immigration, you start seeing the picture that's forming in people's minds. Is this really the type of people we want running certain things? Censorship was such a big deal. You know, it was more than just like yeah, it was over the years, people's support of Trump got him shadow banned, but it was more than that. It was their support for right-wing ideals, keeping America white. You know, you ask me, America's not white, not majority white. It's not America anymore. It's going to be an issue. So on these things, you see the picture forming in people's minds, right? And they start wondering, well, who's running things? Who are the type of people getting involved, okay? And why does it matter? Well, besides the fact that there's a significant number of these people, there's a significant base. You could choose to ignore, or you could choose to understand. Besides that, why does it matter? I think the dissenters have a point here. You know, they talk about victimhood mentality. Victimhood mentality, it's this poison, and it really is. And you got Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk, and really these guys, they all are really into meritocracy, and I think they're showing love to Americans and saying that you can do better. You can do better. You can do better in your own life. That being said, it's like when you take in, for example, that things like this are going on where, I don't know, I agree with this. I don't really have a problem with this. I think this makes sense. India set to take back 18,000 citizens. Okay, these are illegals. India is basically working with Trump because there's Indian illegals here. And Trump is like, they got to go. India's like, we'll take it back, but let's also work together here. How about you guys leave H-1B or some form of it, and just think about it. And it seems like the Trump administration is like, yeah, like we're going to think about it. We might work together on that. That's what this article is about. And why am I telling you that? Because I'm trying to express to you, again, I'm just painting a picture for you of how people feel, how some feel. It's like, were we asked? Did they get asked? Some of these people are feeling like maybe it makes sense. You import players to your NFL team to make the whole team win. But I didn't get asked if we wanted these Indians here, etc. You know? So, okay, it's like victimhood. Where was I? I was trying to express the point that some of the dissenters have. Okay, you know, they call themselves little tech, and it's these people around Trump. It's Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and this Silicon Valley collection of money and people. Sri Ramakrishnan, the new AI person named by Trump, and all that. They call themselves little tech. And their argument against the people who disagreed with H-1B was essentially, you guys are being racist. Now, do you see how they feel now? Anybody who says you guys are being racist over their argument doesn't get it. Anyone who says you're just being racist is, you know, they don't get it. They don't get it on censorship. They don't get it on free speech. They don't get it on being an individual. They don't get it on America is, whatever we can argue, is a white country, a Christian country. They just don't get it on these things. And so that is basically, I think let me think. Yeah. I think that's basically the summary right there. And I hope that's as best as I get it. And I hope you understand, maybe you're up to speed maybe a little bit on some of the different mentalities and the things going on in Trump's own base, the right wing, in America, in politics. So hopefully that was clear and that you're following so far. And I want to say, I think here's how I feel about it. Because like I said, the dissenters have a point. Some of their points are misconstrued. And, you know, when they're saying, hey, when they're saying, hey, you know, we don't want H-1B, they're not necessarily, yeah, there's a good point to say, you don't, the Native American, the people that are here in America should work hard and shouldn't be outdone. They shouldn't just complain. They should work hard. But it's like, would you let Chinese nationals buy up all the assets around you just because it was legal and they merited it and they earned the money? Like, there are good questions here. There are fine questions here. And to say that's racism, you just don't like them, you just want to complain, you want DEI for white people, is not a counter argument. The only time you say that is someone is giving up. You know, it's like, okay, I can't make my life better. It's like, you are a loser and you want to stay a loser. And anybody, like, you know, how can you help somebody like that? And there's plenty of those here in America, right? But again, okay, so you're following so far. Dissenters have a little bit of a point, blah, blah, blah. I want to describe a mistake I think they're making. Because I think they're making a bit of a mistake, and it's in placing anybody on a pedestal. Putting anybody, not even just a pedestal, honestly, putting anybody in your life around you that you see in any position different than you. And I want to stress this because I've seen this it's so interesting. You guys remember when I was talking about that biohacking tech guy, Brian Johnson? He's this guy who's dedicated and his whole life to hacking his body and making it as healthy and as young and to live as long as possible. He wants to defeat aging, defeat death. You got to understand, this guy is reading all the stuff. He's testing different things. He's read the studies. You know what I mean? He's got money. He's got the teams behind him. And every day, he's got a routine of like 15 different steps before it's like 10 a.m. And he's going to live forever. This same guy was just the other day saying, hey, and I don't know any details of the vaccine and all that. I don't know. I just don't know. But this is what he was saying. He said, I was fooled. I was fooled into taking it. I shouldn't have. And I was fooled by other voices in authority. I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said that he trusted these other voices. I'm bringing him up because that's just the most recent example I've shown you. And I love showing you examples like that of someone who is a so-called expert. And I like Brian Johnson. I think he's smart. I think if you want to learn something about biology and maybe think a little differently, listen to Brian Johnson. You might learn something. Keep it up right in one ear, out the other. Ask your own questions. But it's like for everyone that calls himself an expert, they're really just like you. They're just like you. Everyone is just like you. They have blind spots. And until you can see, you don't see. And you can be an absolute master, smart, rich, SpaceX owner. You're seeing the curvature of the earth. Something so many wish they could see to answer the questions in their minds. It's like, why can't I see that? You're out there. You're launching rockets. You're seeing the curvature of the earth, and you still have blind spots. There are things you just don't get. You still vote for Hillary. You still. You think it's racism because someone is like, hey, I don't know about replacing all the workers here and all that. It doesn't sound America first. Everyone's like you, blind spots. Remember when you were a liberal? Like, you guys saw the whole like Elon Musk Nazi salute thing. Then we're going to get to calls. Thanks for the patience. He's stretching out his arm. He's doing the so-called Nazi salute. He was just whatever. So most people are sensible, and they're like, he said he was giving his heart out to the people. So that's what he was doing. Others in the media and besides that, they were like seriously or maliciously putting that out there that he's doing a straight up Nazi salute. That's not a Roman salute. So they were criticizing him there. I showed you the public how much they love lies. They can't wait to hear lies. They see Trump. They're like, I don't know. This doesn't feel right. he's bad, right? And then Elon Musk, he puts his arm up. Wow, they've been telling me Nazi all these years. It's true. Now I'm seeing it on my screen. It's like Hitler for real. And it's like, if you really knew, if you only knew how not Hitler-like the Trump administration is, they're looking at it, they're like, oh my God, it's happening. And they can't wait to believe lies. They're like, yeah, it's totally Nazi salute. I'm bringing that up again because look at how Elon Musk responds to all this. They're calling me a Nazi, da-da-da. He's a little troll. Look, they shared this all over the internet. And I don't know if it was Elon Musk or not, but it was obviously tongue-in-cheek. It was obviously a cheeky little response to all the controversy. They projected this image on a Tesla building. It says, "Hail Tesla." Elon Musk with his doing popping off a Roman there. and so he's doubling down. He's just like, they're going to call me a Nazi? Whatever. Hail Tesla. Look at me. I'm trolling you. I'm trying to describe Elon Musk's personality a little bit to you. You know, when the H-1B people were coming at him, he's just like, he kind of spurred out a bit. You know, he might be a little bit of a spur. He may be quite smart. I like him. I really do. He may not have the emotional, well, let me take that back because Tesla owner, everything he's done. But even people like that may not have a complete emotional stability where you got the whole world coming at you on your own on platform X that you own. You haven't been through what he's been through. And then he spurgs out a bit. He's like, you know what? F yourself in the face. He's a double downer. You see what type of guy he is? He's like, he goes hard. He's like, no, I'm right and I'm going to go hard and I'm not ashamed about it. I'm going to, yeah, that's just the type of guy he is. You understand? You were stupid once. You were liberal. Elon, he came in with H-1B. So he has a thing in his heart with H-1B. It's like, I came in through H-1B. So everyone, it's like a woman or like some of my friends who support Canadian healthcare. But my mom was protected. She had cancer and the healthcare. And it's like, I just showed you a list of hundreds of people who died with the same condition waiting for healthcare. But my mom, she was protected by OHIP, Canadian healthcare. It must be good. It's like, I came in through H-1B. I'm great. It's like Elon Musk. Not all the H-1Bs are the same. They don't even look the same. He looks white. You understand? I know that's shallow. I'm not saying, but that's how people think. He looks white. It's like, and he's more than just looks white. He's he acts white too. He's been quite an asset to America, please. And so, blah blah blah. What else to say about this? That's pretty much it about this. Hopefully you understand what's going on. I think it's a mistake people putting it on a pedestal. There are things that must happen sequentially. And Musk, maybe the era before the America First some want to see. Maybe Musk is the era before an even worse America. Right? Both are possibilities. Now the question remains, who is it up to then which way America goes? Isn't the answer you? Isn't now the answer you? What are you going to do? So that's my little spiel about that. So Elon Musk, liberal, duh. Maybe he is the precursor to taking the Trump train a different path, a path that shouldn't go down. But now who's it up to? All of us who heard Trump, who saw all this going on. It's going to take more than politics. It's like, this is a spiritual battle. How many people have been trying all the things Trump has been talking about? Republicans for years, decades. You think this is the first time catch and release was handled and challenged, for example? It's a spiritual battle. And what are you going to do about it? That's my question. Elon Musk, the ops, how about just yeah, maybe. But it's like the ops. How do you put it? It's like, who's the enemy? I'll leave it like this. I'll put it like this. In war, and I might have to give you some examples. So I'm now thinking about it, and I think I might have to. We'll have to flesh this out, but take this in. In war, it's quite a common thing where enemies become strange bedfellows. Okay, so that's it. What else? What else am I saying? I'm not saying anything else. We're done with that. 888-775-3773. Let's get to calls. Let us get to calls. Yeah. It's time for calls. We got Mr. Pink out of California. How you doing, sir? Appreciate your call.
You got it. So, what's your favorite thing the old boy's done so far?
Oh, Trump?
Yeah, I mean, like, he got more done in 24 hours than Biden did the entire presidency.
I absolutely love the little saga with the January 6ers because it went like J.D. Vance saying, oh, you know, if they're violent, we're not going to let them out. And Trump, like, I feel like this is one of those moments where he shows who he is and who he's been, despite, you know, there's criticisms and good ones. But through it all, this is one of those moments. This is an unpopular look. How the proof is in how even his own vice president and how they handle this topic. Oh, okay, fine. Trump really wants to do this, but okay, not the violent ones, right? We can all agree on that, right? We're sensible people, not the violent ones. And yet Trump was able to respond to that, to the media and everything, and it just made sense. It's totally sensible. These people have been in jail for years, treated terribly in a lawless country for what? For they're saying they say insurrection. What a trumped up charge. I could go on, man, but I really like that. I really like how he handled that.
Yeah, I think the move to designate the cartels as terrorists was big. I think that things may happen that are kind of quite shocking because of that. Because terrorist organizations, you know what they did with them in the Middle East?
What happened?
They blew them up.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, if we go,
and that's after they were designated. You said
popping off on the cartels, man. People are gonna be like, "Whoa, dude!"
Yeah. And that was because they were designated that way.
Yeah, I mean, amazing. So that kind of started with 9/11 and right after in the Bush era. Now it's like they changed the definition of terrorism, and that gave them the ability to go into Iraq and all the et cetera, Afghanistan, all the other stuff. Like that all happened because those organizations were declared to be terrorist organizations within the civilian population there. So I mean, it's like, I don't remember exactly what the question was, but they asked him while he was signing the stuff the other day, do you think that, military could be used in Mexico or whatever? And he's just like, stranger things have happened.
Trump said that about using the military in Mexico?
I don't remember the exact question, but I would not put it past him. And the thing is, we got what we voted for, and that's what I wanted, was the guy that's not going to kowtow to any, lean this way or that way about something. It's like you were just saying with the J.D. Vance thing. Like, even his vice president's like, no, he's just like, I don't care. We'll let these people out.
Yeah,
that's what I said I was going to do. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's what I like about him. It's just like, okay, I said I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Screw the fallout. Screw what people think, and screw how they yell about it in the media. I love that the other day he was like, well, what about the people that were violent? And he's just like, stop interrupting.
Yeah, that was a really rude reporter, though. And they're already pretty rude with him, but that was egregious, even for the already rude media and Trump. Honestly, that guy was out of control. He should never be allowed back. That was crazy. Just like there's no mic on him. He's now just this voice in the background, just blah, 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 blah. There's nobody hearing you. And he's like a woman, unable to just stop and just yelling. It's a mess. I thought that was terrible.
Yeah.
I would want to know. Who was that?
He already had I don't know. I can't remember the voice, but I think it was the Fox News guy.
dude, man, calm down. Have some
That's
decorum.
crazy. Yeah, I mean, that was like an early, like he about halfway through his first presidency when he had the Jim Acosta sit down, give me the microphone, shut up.
Very
he already
awesome.
had that like first day this time. I think it's great. I mean, how when he came in and just like right away he's just like signing, okay, this is 75 Biden things that's out the window. Okay, they're terrorists now. Oh, it's emergency at the border, and now it's like 10,000 troops going down to the border, and the buses are filling up and leaving, bro.
Am I wrong in this impression that it seems almost like in these 3 days with the second term here with Trump, it almost seems like, I don't know if he would have even been able to have been acting in this way in the first term, despite being a winner in both. His mandate, the umbrella of his mandate, if you understand what I'm getting at, is larger here, just with the new faces and all that. It lends to less opposition, and maybe why I'm getting this impression. What do you think?
I mean, so with the first time around, it's like he was tiptoeing in there. He didn't really know what he could do and like how people would act,
right,
and et cetera. But now, seeing what they've done, this is what I hoped for the whole time with him getting back in, is that now he knows how much of hypocrites they are, how they'll go after him for like every single thing. So he just doesn't care this time.
Yeah,
he's not going to play their games this time, and so it's like the mandate is bigger, yes, but at the same time, his mindset on what I can actually do here, and not caring what people say or do or whatever, because they're going to do whatever they're going to do to him anyway, whether he backs down from his position or he goes forward with it. Mm-hmm. So he's just going to go forward with it this time. He doesn't care.
Heck yeah.
It's just great. It's great. He said the other day on Hannity, he's like, oh, you saw how Biden pardoned his whole family and these are criminals. And he said, oh man, what was the exact quote he said? The sad thing,
he didn't pardon himself.
He didn't pardon himself. Yeah. And that to me goes, Trump's like, okay, I can still prosecute this guy. He's an idiot for not pardoning himself.
Yeah, I got the impression it was, well, I really don't know. I could only gather that was, how do you put it, power exertion. There's a lot you could do with a threat, And I wouldn't even call that a threat, but I'm trying to express the soft power of what people think might happen and how that orders things. It's interesting.
Bro,
they'll stay out of his way, if there really is the possibility. These guys, they'll see the wake up, the Bidens wake up, they see the articles, Trump floats the possibility of, prosecuted by that might freeze things in the tracks, things that we don't even understand.
Well, that's just, man, I'm looking forward to it. If this is what we got after 3 days, things are going to start happening quick.
Well, yeah, we'll keep watching, man. Right on, Mr. Pink. Appreciate your call. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, just keep up the good work. It's a good new year. Everything's kind of falling into place the way we all envisioned it over the past 4 years. So
right on.
Just stay strong. Keep reporting the right and the truth.
Right on. Thanks, Mr. Pink. Take care.
All right, appreciate you, bro.
Oops. 888-775-3773. Whatever you want to talk about here. 888-775-3773. I hope Trump shows us an actual howitzer. Why? Is the rumor that Trump has never shown us an actual howitzer? Is that fake news? Has Trump really never shown the American public an actual howitzer firing? Or what am I supposed to understand from this information from my chat? What are you trying to tell me? That he's not showing the American public a howitzer? But why? If that's so, if that's true. I mean, if that's true, here, I'll show you myself.
Is a type of cannon that is mobilized with the use of vehicles, for the cannon itself is immovable. Artilleries can be classified into a gun, a mortar, and a howitzer based on their firing formats. A gun is long-barreled and fires at low...
I'm just messing around with my chat. Let's keep it moving. Howitzers, you never want to see a howitzer flat, by the way. You know what I mean? Like, you want to see them angled. You never, ever want to see one flat, you know? Howitzers, they fire artillery. They're angled, okay? You know, they fire upwards to the sky. It comes down in an arc, a parabola, if you will. You see how they shoot? Now, you ever see one of these flat? You ever see one of them, they call, or if we use the correct terminology, direct fire versus indirect fire of a howitzer? You never want to see them like this in this configuration. That means you can see the enemy, and it means they can see you. It's pretty bad. Okay? You never want to see those in that position. It means it's your last-ditch effort. That means you can visibly see them, so you're now doing direct fire. Okay, chat, we sufficiently derailed the show for the comment of one in my chat. Let's keep it moving here. Let's keep it moving. King of Battle? Flat Earth Victory? Are you saying, are you talking about the meaning of my last name? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, yeah. I know. A general. I was a born general. But anyways, let's keep it moving here. 888-775-3773. I appreciate the support from the one and only He Lazy. Generous, always generous here. And with a super chat today. Thank you, He Lazy. Google King of Battle. Okay, let's continue here with my one chatter. Google King of Battle, or your West Hollywood, he might say. King of Battle has multiple meanings, including a Mesopotamian epic, a nickname for the United States Army Field Artillery Branch. Oh, and okay. Well, cool. That's some. I welcome this information. The King of Battle, also the nickname for the United States Army Field Artillery Branch. Shout out to the artillery branch, to the Kings of Battle. Very cool. Well, now where was I? Thank you, He Lazy, the supporters, my supporters on rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. How you doing, Quartus? That's a name I've never seen. DLive.tv/Gorgonzola. All the folks there, they are throwing their undergarments on the stage for me. Is that clean? I think that's clean, right? That's DLive.tv/Gorgonzola. It makes sense. Punchy.tv/Anchor Baby. We're live. Now what else here? That's the story. That's the housekeeping. All right, let's keep it moving. How about we do something else? We done with Elon. Blah, blah, blah. Check this out. I got footage for you. Let's break it up. Get excited. Ice raids day 3, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ice breaking. Fox rides along with ICE on immigration raids. Anybody know? Anybody got the details on where these... Are they streaming these live? I've been trying to catch these ICE raids live on stream. I don't know where to catch them. Anybody know where I can watch them? Maybe it seems like Fox has some footage. I've been trying to catch the live stream. Anybody know? Yeah. I mean, it's like I'm on X. I'm Googling it. I'm like, where are they live streaming the ICE raids? I'm trying to get I got my popcorn. It's like I'm like sitting there. I'm sitting there. I'm like I got my Punchy's coffee. I'm pouring myself some coffee. Maybe I'm eating popcorn. Maybe it's later in the day. I'm like, I'm excited for the ICE raids. I throw it on. And they're like, bah, 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 bah. I'm like, oh, they're going to get this guy. This guy has no idea what's coming. Suddenly I hear knocking at my front door. I'm like, man, this apartment looks familiar. All right, guys, get him. Get him. Bah, 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 bah. And the shot, it's a camera shot. I'm looking at myself from the back. That's hilarious. cancel the words in the name. And I hope that no ICE raids disturb me while I'm drinking my delicious Punchy's coffee. Rebuildingtheman.com/store. But that would be hilarious. Maybe we should film that. I'm like, I'm like watching the ICE raids, and I get ready. Okay, so ICE raids, check it out. Fox rides along with ICE on immigration raids. You may have seen this.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is
I'm not going back to Haiti.
From Haiti.
Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. This is 22.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever.
Yo, Biden forever, bro. F Trump, you feel me?
Bro, thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
Thanks, Obama.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Señor, ¿cómo se llama?
And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this
in their homes. In their homes. I love it. In the sanctity of their once homes, in their dwellings, in there. This is where I add to it. But I don't know exactly what each person's situation is, but their dwellings, their 6 to 8 to 1 room. So where was I? Fox, I feel like I wanted to say something about this. But yeah, the Haitians, there's something significant going on with refugee resettlement now. It's just a temporary pause for 4 months. We'll see what happens. But it shows a will and desire to deal with the worst. And that's so good. To deal with the worst. Take it in. These refugees that are coming from Haiti, Afghanistan, Gaza. Take that in. They're really unruly. Nobody wants them. That's just the reality of the situation. Nobody in the world wants them. Egypt doesn't want them. Nobody wants a lot of these. But the North Africans, the back alley Tunisian knife fighters. I'm just saying, it's a problem. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, it shows like a interesting political will. Even the switch with H-1B Indians versus illegal Indians. What was I going to say about that? It's just good. What was I saying? Let's just keep watching this.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Señor, ¿cómo se llama?
And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies.
There you go.
And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
So you guys got your main target just now, but you got somebody else. What just happened?
So our main target was released by a sanctuary jurisdiction, not honoring a detainer. That person was released back into the community, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States. So he's going to go today too.
And that is exactly what Border Czar Tom Homan has warned would happen.
When we find the bad guy, he's probably with others that are in the United States illegally. They may not be a criminal priority, but we're not walking away from them.
ICE Boston says they will continue to go into sanctuary jurisdictions and do their job.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen major outcry either. is it to maybe further express what I was saying earlier, the change of mentality. Even for the ones saying I don't like Trump and this is the wrong guy, I feel like even a bunch of those people are kind of just lying or keeping it to themselves that whatever. I can't outwardly say, but I know he's doing at least some of the right things. So let him handle the law and all that. It just seems like, I don't know if I'm seeing what I was expecting. The major coverage saying, how do you protect yourself? Footage of them being dragged out of homes. Hold on. Being dragged out of their homes. I'm just, I haven't really seen it. And I wonder if it's part of this, call it a change in mentality and in support. Like, it's just all these different people. Basically all the liberals. A bunch of liberals just siding with Trump. Is it just they've given up their opposition to even just quietly disagree and a little bit more quiet? Maybe it's just too early to tell. I don't know. I am, however, trying to find that one. There was one thing, ABC 7. ABC 7 was informing the public, I believe, on ICE. They were reporting on outrage as ABC 7, here it is, broadcast report telling illegal migrants how to avoid ICE capture. It's just some local stuff. This is the most I've seen, maybe. This is probably the most I've seen. And then some TikToks and stuff saying, this is how you can avoid ICE. Wow, this is an impossible website to use. Look at this. What the heck is this?
Raids. He is revoking a directive. President Trump now authorizing ICE to target schools and churches in its deportation raids. He is revoking a directive excluding arrests in so-called sensitive areas. Chicago's immigrant community on edge tonight as Michelle Gallardo reports. Activists and elected officials are canvassing neighborhoods, letting people know their rights should ICE come knocking.
Up and down 𒒏💄💃 Avenue today, business after business prominently displayed the same flyer. Don't open for ICE. Little Village business owners telling us it's the least they can do. People need to stick together, no matter their immigration status, says José Luis Vázquez, who's owned this computer and phone repair shop for 9 years now.
The people need to stand united, regardless of... I just find that hard to believe that what motivates this man here is a sense of American unity and identity. It's the red, white, and blue, man. We're all red, white, and blue. You know what I mean? I wonder. I find it hard to believe his unification, his unity, his community, whatever, comes from shallow ideas, culture, race, la raza.
A few blocks away at the Little Village Arch, a handful of activists braved the sub-zero wind chills to rally against the Trump administration's stated plans to conduct mass deportations.
They're fascists. They're following the law. Stop the MAGA fascist platform. Look, they're following the law. The fascists are following the law. The fascist pigs are following and enforcing the law. What are we going to do? Let's go out and picket. That'll stop them. And it's funny because it actually is not stopping them. Usually it does. But it's actually not stopping them.
Today was
more on this Fox right along with ICE. And then I got one more thing for you here.
Good day. Today we took several significant public safety threats out of our communities. Unfortunately, a lot were released by sanctuary policies, but we're here to tell the Commonwealth and the rest of the country that we're going to find them whether they're released or not.
And guys, shortly after we finished filming, ICE Boston told us they arrested 2 more targets in other parts of town away from our cameras. One of those targets is a previously deported Honduran illegal alien who was arrested for raping a woman while putting a gun in her mouth. The other target they got is a Haitian man who first flew into the United States in 2023 as part of President Biden's controversial migrant flights mass parole program. Well, they just picked him up yesterday because he's been arrested locally for sexual assault. We'll send it back to you.
Bill Malugin, it was fascinating to watch all of that. I think I was just saying to Bill, this is terrible for Joe Biden and the legacy that he tried to leave behind. A question from me, how soon will they actually be leaving the country? Does that take a long time?
It depends what country they're from. If they're from cooperable countries like El Salvador, Guatemala, countries like that, it can be quick. It can be within days or weeks. If it's countries that are harder to deport, countries that don't cooperate with the U.S. as much, it can go into a process of months. But the Trump administration is changing policies with something called expedited removal. The bottom line is people at home don't need to understand all the policies. The Trump administration is just going to work as fast as they can to get all the people you just saw on camera there out of the country as fast as possible. They're also going to use their State Department, now led by Marco Rubio, to put pressure on countries that don't cooperate with the U.S. as much when it comes to those deportations.
Bill, just two points of clarification here. It seems a lot.
Anyway, sorry. I was looking at some breaking news, and I was trying to put something just quickly together here that we might just briefly talk about this in a moment, considering the breaking news, but that's a little bit there. Okay, there they are, raiding away, taking them, knocking down front doors, taking away, separating the families, and that's a joke. I'm exaggerating there, but they're enforcing the law in the new Law and Order third day of America. After 4 years and 3 days of lawlessness, or 4 years of look, that's a little bit on that. I wanted to show that to you, the ICE raids and all that, but I wanted to show that to you alongside this too. This one's going around. It's going around a lot. I'm seeing this video around. I can't tell you if it's true. I can't tell you really who filmed it or what's exactly going on here. But the story is what you gather from the video is this man is looking for workers for what seems to be what you can only assume is a recently deserted farm, which you could only assume was employing illegals or something. Because this person here is a little stressed, seemingly stressed in his plea and search for laborers, for workers. You can hear him out yourself here.
Good morning, American citizens. Okay, man, so we're accepting applications at this moment. You will make no more or less than minimum wage. You won't get no sick pay. You won't get no vacations. So at the moment, we're getting applications for all you American citizens that want to work in the fields. Look at this. We have plenty of work for you guys. The people have spoken.
What?
Come on, let's go.
What people?
We're waiting for all you guys. Come on.
We're waiting for them.
Apply for me.
Come on and apply for me. Where are the American citizens? I wonder if this man himself is an American citizen. And not even because of the accent or anything. There's plenty of people with that accent as American citizens. But there's just also so many of people with that accent who are American citizens. But they would say, hey, Americans, you Americans, those Americans, come here. I wonder if you Americans would come and work on my farm. The farm of whatever he is. Where are the American citizens, he says. By the way, little cheeky, gets a little cheeky there. No, it's minimum wage, no sick pay, no vacay, okay? You're not going to get the cushy little accoutrements you're so used to. And forgive me, for I am adding to it. But there's so many. Why am I adding to it? Because I'm expressing the questions that arise when watching this. If you just watch this and conclude, yep, Americans aren't going to do this job, let them in, infinity immigrants, then you're not really paying attention. There are questions that you have to ask here. Why does he suddenly not have any workers? Why is nobody coming to work? Why, a couple of questions arise. The conclusion is probably they don't want to work with no sick pay and no vacay. But that's another one of those nasty assumptions. There's plenty of jobs with no sick pay and no vacay. Lots of them, and Americans work them all the time, every day. That's not an insane thing, controversial or complicated thing to realize and understand. They work no sick pay and no vacays. They're a whole bunch of Americans. There are millions and millions of them work jobs just like that, man. So calm down. Maybe you shouldn't have employed illegals. Maybe you shouldn't have an illegal workforce. And when maybe you should have realized when you did employ an illegal workforce, you were accepting the risks. But maybe you got a little too cushy, right? It goes to show, and again, some assumptions I'm even making from a simple video. I don't know the deets. But it's like, it goes to show just how relaxed people have gotten with the law itself. You understand? It doesn't matter if there's a law. If it's not being enforced, it basically doesn't exist. So that's how you can have insanity, like years. That's how you can have Home Depot parking lots across America full of just illegal. You want to find illegals? You can find them. They're at the same spot all the time. And they're like looking for work. And you know what I mean? Like, you can find them. They're not hidden. So I'm trying to express some of this mentality and argument they put out for letting in immigrants. It's like, that's why you got to just let them in. Americans don't want to work this job. It's like, why have the conditions of this job gotten to this level? And which, first of all, let me say the conditions aren't terrible. I mean, this is unskilled work. You're out there doing what? You're picking stuff, moving stuff, hacking away at stuff. Like, that's not skilled labor, okay? You need work, there's work. There you go. So you're out in the fields, you're getting minimum wage. And it's like, okay, well, do you know how minimum wage works in this country? Imagine being one of these field workers in California. And you're saying you're an illegal, making minimum wage? Okay, maybe he only meant minimum wage for an American citizen. Oh, well, minimum wage in America is a mess. It's kind of pretty cushy in some cases. And then no sick pay, no vacay, you get it. There's plenty of jobs like that. So what else about this? Like, he lost his illegal workforce, I'm to assume. That's not the lazy Americans' fault. And this could also even be a charge against America and workforce policies or whatever. Like, what is it that the first question becomes, are companies really forced to, due to whatever factors, the first question that needs to be answered is it true that companies are having to decide whether to, pay for this or pay for their employees, so they're having to make concessions and so, yeah, in a sense, they're being forced. Worker conditions and pay are worsening. Is it true that they're forced to, or is it not true? Is it? So those are the real questions to answer. Lazy American citizens. It's like, that's a very shallow, that's kind of a shallow bookend to this conversation. There's more to get into. Where are they?
Look at this. We have plenty of work for you guys.
The people have spoken.
The people have spoken.
He sounds like a total Chicano.
Come on, let's go.
Come on.
We're waiting for all you guys. Come on. Come and apply for me.
What else is this? What else? This is a good point to to bolster this whole soft power of strengthen the government. Maybe not a law or policy is changing. Maybe this or that policy isn't changing, but individuals are self-policing and deporting, etc. Just at the mere, thought and impression that with Trump around, things are going to change. I can't say that. Project Pro-J 2025. I can't repeat that. Save your money and cut back hands. It's going to be a rough ride, y'all. Thank you, Skip. Right on, right on. Always a pleasure. All right. Oil field has great benefits. Drill, baby, drill. Yeah, our oil... Hey, are oil jobs about to pop off? I heard those are dangerous. I'm not telling you what to do. Don't just do this. But I remember even going through the whole application thing with a good friend of mine years ago to go work on an oil rig. And we were pretty much going to do it, but we didn't do it. Well, we stayed skids instead. But we were like, hey, let's go work on an oil rig for a summer, make 80,000 Canadian. And I don't even know if that's true. 80,000. It is something crazy though. It is an incredible amount of, for the amount of time you're out there. It's grueling work, I hear. You're out there for 4-6 months. But we were pretty serious. Are the oil jobs about to pop off? Maybe you're young. Maybe you're a young bambino, young bato, young whatever. In America, you're ready for this new year of a golden age. Golden age. And you heard drill, baby, drill. This is not advice. I heard it's dangerous, but it might be good work. Just an idea. Might be good work for you. Heard it's good work. Why do I look like this? No, not like that. Like this. There you go. Okay, so let's keep it moving. ICE Day 3. That's the asylum stuff. Where are the American citizens? They're ready for work sometimes. And that's it. That's it on that. A moment ago, and I saw calls. If you want to call me back, I'll get to you. 888-775-3773. I saw this mentioned a moment ago. I guess this is kind of breaking news. I thought we'd get into this a little bit, see what the news are saying. But it has to do with Trump ordering the files. The Trump orders the release of the final classified JFK assassination documents. How important is this really? Chat. And what's the real story on that? JFK, the last secret files are being released. That was just moments ago.
Sir, we have an executive order.
Whoa, jeez. Did you have to blast? RIP headphones users.
Ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed.
Everything?
Okay. Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he gave the pen he signed it with to RFK Jr. So it's not just JFK, but I mean, there's some pretty high-level assassinations over the years. It stayed in the minds of many. But Trump signed an executive order, directs his director of national intelligence to put together a plan within 15 days for the full release of documents about the JFK assassination. Everything will be revealed. The executive order, obtained by Daily Mail, said more than 50 years after the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the federal government has not released to the public all of its records related to those events. And why? Why is that? Why is that? Their families and the American people deserve transparency. Now, how significant is this, chat? People in my chat seem to make it seem like it's a major, major deal. And it just might be. His intelligence chiefs will have 45 days to put together a plan to release the RFK and King archives. So it's going to be JFK, RFK, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King's assassination. With all sorts of conspiracy behind all of them. Millions of pages of JFK documents have already been released, leaving only a few thousand kept in the archives. Why? But why? The most recent releases include CIA cable and memos recording visits by Oswald to the Cuban and Soviet embassies. Experts doubt there are any major revelations lurking in the archives that would change the accepted version of events. What is the accepted version of events? The official story. You gotta love the official story. You know, you gotta have the official story. You know, you gotta start with the official story. Then you may ask questions. I don't know. So
okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. President.
So that's that with him. Experts doubt any major revelations are hidden there. He made a similar promise. Trump promised during his re-election campaign he would declassify remaining government records surrounding the assassination. He made a similar promise in the first term, but gave way to the CIA, who argued some documents should be kept from the public for fear they would reveal national security secrets. I think, I could be wrong, I believe that was Mike Pompeo. Mike Pompeo. And let me confirm that for you. Because I believe it was on his council that Trump decided not to release such files. Release classified documents. The classified documents. It may just be speculation. It may just be speculation that Mike Pompeo had advised Trump against releasing these things, especially on the sensitive issue of JFK. So it may be just speculation according to some sources here. So, but what's the official story? What's the official story, and will they get anything out of this? I don't know if they will. November 22nd, 1963. President JFK assassinated in Dallas, Texas, while riding an open-top motorcade. The grassy knoll. You know, I stood there a year or two ago. Not a year or two. It must have been 2 years now. I was with Jesse. We were out there in Dallas for an event. Jesse was speaking somewhere. I was accompanying him. The grassy knoll. Is that what it's called? Yeah. I was definitely there. In fact, you could probably find some kind of vlog I did with Jesse. JLP vlog. Oh, check it. Secret project in Dallas. That's right. We went to Dallas. I went to the knoll. The Zapruder film. The Zapruder film. I don't know. I got all I was like thinking I was like a vlogger or something. I had a camera. I went out there with Jesse for one of the first few trips here. I don't know. I guess I was thinking I was a vlogger or something here. Got the transish out there in Dallas. I forgot I did this. Shout out Dallas. Let's get to the Knoll. Really
All right,
quick,
Destiny,
okay? Allow me
rather-
to indulge, because what else? Because you can call me 888-775-3773. I got something else to get into here in a moment.
Chores, the watchman on the walls of the world. We're here at the grassy knoll. Here in Dallas, Texas. I'm here with Jesse.
Was I sick?
Doing an event.
Was I sick? That's what it looks like. Come on, show it. Show the scene, Anchor Baby. Show the outside. There it is. So right there, like right over here is like an X. There's like a big X on the road, and is essentially where it happened.
Let's go check it out. Grassy knoll here in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, there.
Shot of this right here.
You see the X? Nick with the fat guy angle. So that's it. That's what it looks like. I was there. I just wanted to show you. They're releasing the deets. Okay. Trump promised. And they've released them immediately. Trump said he was, this is according to the Daily Mail. Trump said it was according to Trump's own words. Trump said he was persuaded by Mike Pompeo, his former CIA director, not to release them during his first term. I was actually asked by Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, not to. And I felt he knew something that maybe, when he asked you not to, you sort of say why. And he felt that it was not a good time to release them. The hidden records allowed conspiracy theorists the freedom to speculate on what might be hidden. Was Oswald in the pay of the Cubans or Soviets? Was he a patsy? Why did nightclub owner Jack Ruby shoot him dead alive on TV? Asks Daily Mail. Questions the Daily Mail is asking. The new executive order signed by Trump in the Oval Office says, I have now determined that the continued redaction and withholding of information from records pertaining to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy is not consistent with the public interest, and the release of these records is long overdue. So that's the story. We'll see what happens. A criminal always returns to the scene of the crime. And yeah, I'm not too familiar. I'm not totally familiar with the whole JFK thing. Cubans, Soviets, that's speculation. If you ask the official story, I don't know. That there was something about overthrowing Fidel Castro. I don't know. They say there was some weird stuff with nukes. Where is it? Tension concerning JFK, Israel, concerning nuclear weapons during his administration. JFK was concerned about the proliferation of nuclear weapons, sought to prevent the development of nuclear arms in the Middle East. That's it. I really don't know anything about JFK. We might have to get into it. JFK, that's the story. They're releasing it. So a little bit of breaking news for you. But it's 15 days, It's not immediate. He's saying immediately, but I'm also seeing that he's immediately putting his team to put together a 15-day plan. So let me know if you find anything cool. Let me know. All right, let's move on. The school shooting. Might as well mention this here for a moment, because they're saying this person was radicalized, totally radicalized. And by now you may have heard a little bit about the Antioch High School shooting. Nashville high school shooter posted online writings, partially live-streamed attack. And that's what's going on. I believe 2 dead. Law enforcement officials seeking a motive for a shooting at Nashville's Antioch High School on Wednesday morning. They're examining alarming social media posts tied to teenager police say shot and killed a 16-year-old girl. The shooter, identified by Metro Nashville police as 17-year-old Solomon Henderson. Solomon Henderson. You may have seen the images. It's not like... It's not really what do you call it? Like your typical black school shooter. I don't know how to put it. He like gives off incel-y vibes. Like he is wearing a negative XP shirt. I believe that's that no, it's a musical artist who used to go by the name of School Shooter. Negative XP. I believe this is the Antioch High School shooter, 17-year-old Solomon Henderson. And he's wearing like I'm trying to describe it. I wouldn't call it your typical black shooting, maybe. He's the musical artist that he's wearing is he used to go by the name School Shooter. And is like, I don't know how else to put it. And shout out to the incels. But yeah, incel-y. If I had to put it, peg it down. Check it out. Here he is compared to Natalie Rupnow. What's up with these pictures they take? Is this the pose, the vibe? Natalie Rupnow. She did that shooting in Wisconsin, no? I could be wrong exactly where, but it was recent. Where was the other one where he looks like he's like in a soldier, look. In like soldier uniform. What is this? On the right here. Some kind of military look. Antioch High School. 17 years old. Yeah, Solomon Henderson, he fired multiple rounds inside a cafeteria shortly after 11 a.m. He killed one. And another one was grazed in the arm. So killed one, grazed another. Someone else was injured but was not shot. After which he turned the gun on himself. This Solomon Henderson. Yeah, he turned the gun on himself. Henderson killed himself after the attack. And that's the story with Solomon Henderson. Wednesday's tragedy, which sent students in the cafeteria scrambling for cover, was the first school shooting in the U.S. this year, says CNN. 83 school shootings in 2024. The suspect live-streamed himself inside the school minutes before the shooting began, so he was broadcasting this nightmare. Video posted to the Australian streaming platform Kick shows. In the video, the suspect, who's wearing black boots, attempts to open a door before walking away from it and walking past a vending machine. Violence has no place on Kick. You know, they're taking down the videos where this was streamed. They're investigating whether these targets were, directly targeted by Henderson. That's unclear. But he's got very concerning online writings and social media posts, apparently. And I want to see if we can get into those, because they're saying that he's even named certain, names and individuals that have contributed to this radical thinking. Radicalized by the online right wing, maybe. I don't know. So bear with me here. Bear with me here.
What year are you here at Antioch High?
I'm a student, 12th grader.
Okay, so where were you when the time that this happened?
I was in the cafeteria when all the shots started going off.
And what was going through your head when that happened?
I thought it's like people in the cafeteria, they do chip bags and make sounds with it to make it sound like a gun, but it was repeatedly going off. And I turned around with my lunch in my hand, and I saw the shooter just shooting people I knew.
You knew the victims?
Yeah, I've seen them before, but I don't know their name.
You don't know their name?
No.
But do you know the shooter?
No, I don't know. I had no connection with the shooter, but it's like seeing his face, it was like kind of covered. Like he had a hoodie or something.
Okay. What was going through your head when all of this happened?
It was a lot of rush and insomnia. Like, that made me want to just like do something crazy, like run out there. I was trying to help people and I was running out.
Yeah.
My mind was so cluttered, and like I didn't know what to do.
Yeah. And how are you feeling now that you're reconnected with your mother?
I feel relieved and I feel safe, but I feel bad for the victims who lost their lives.
Yeah. And when you, I guess, saw them or saw all of this going down, what was everyone else's reaction around you?
It was a lot of screaming, a lot of tears. People was screaming on their faces. They were scared to die, and they was running, like not no regular run. It was like someone was chasing them, like he was a monster, just killing people.
Yeah. Is there security at Antioch High School?
Yes, there was. It was security. It's always police officers around the school, but I didn't see them near the cafeteria when it happened. It should have been on site.
Do you guys have metal detectors?
We used to. It was a couple months ago, but they took it away.
Why do you think they took them away?
I'm not sure. I don't know if people didn't like them or some reason like that, but I feel like they should have kept.
Why is he doing that? Holding back tears or something? Chin up, King, right? This is one of those schools that's like Asians, Mexicans, maybe, blacks, maybe even whites, maybe not. Is it Nashville proper or is it like the suburbs? Seems suburban right there in that scene. I'm not sure. Antioch High School. I really don't know. Responding to my chat here. Not something I'm too aware of on those deets there.
Kept it going.
But yeah, it seems like they seem to be more black, but it could just be my impression. This is just one news report here. But Antioch High School, where's Nashville? What the? No, don't. That's not what I'm looking for. Antioch High School, Nashville. We are in. It doesn't seem like Nashville, like a Nashville proper. You know, I don't know if I know Nashville, but that looks like the city over there. Downtown, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, you know, maybe this is like a suburb. Maybe this is like a suburb over here. Or maybe a little bit of a more rural area, maybe even. Seems like it might be an hour or less from the city. Reminds me of suburban areas near LA, about an hour away from the city. But he's describing what he saw there, and the news is reporting that the social media posts of this Solomon Henderson, they're saying social media posts and videos posted by the suspect show a history of racist, anti-Semitic, and violent beliefs. The online writings include a detailed plan of the shooting and a layout of the school. The posts also mention Henderson was inspired by recent school shooters such as Natalie Samantha Rupnow, those who authorities say attacked their schools in 2024. Now, you know about Natalie Rupnow. That was Wisconsin or whatever, but that was recent. Rupnow, 15, died by suicide after police say she killed a staff member and a student while wounding 6 others at her Wisconsin private Christian school. So that's that. Yep. Online writings, hold on. Some of those online writings, and this person basically expressed what seems to be what seems to be maybe attributed to... hold on. There's apparently alleged manifestos. So here's some purported manifestos. Okay, hold on for me here. I had put away a link here. What have I done with it? Okay. So allegedly, okay, so this is allegedly this person's manifesto. And the online postings that the outlets are talking about. And it looks like I can at least confirm the news is reporting on this. I can't confirm if these are real, but according to Channel 5, News Channel 5 Nashville, and the Tennessean, they're sharing some of these images as well. Pardon. They are sharing some of these images as well. So it could be that this is part of this person's social media. Okay. Where do I start? Because this is a mess. The West has fallen. Is this really him? I almost want to... I'm getting trolled here. Hold on, chat. Just give me a moment here, because Channel 5 and the Tennessean, I want to be entirely sure what they're sharing here, because some of these images look like a joke. There's no way he made this. Okay. The shooter identified as Solomon, the Tennessean. The shooter identified as Solomon Henderson by Metro Nashville Police was a 17-year-old student at the school. Nashville Police Chief John Drake said, during a news conference, there are online materials that are factoring into the police's investigation. As to a motive, we're looking into that. A nearly 300-page document posted on the X social media platform contains numerous selfies of what appears to be the shooter with various alt-right paraphernalia scattered between statements against race mixing, wishes to take revenge on society, statements praising Adolf Hitler, and pages of explicit photos from previous school shootings, according to the Tennessean. Social media accounts linked in the document and scattered across many platforms. A nickname used by many online white nationalists and incel content, which refers to being involuntarily celibate and espouse incredibly violent misogynistic views. Yeah. So, like your body, my choice. Incredibly violent misogynistic views. And so you see, he's not your run-of-the-mill black shooter here. Okay? Yeah, the student then fatally shot himself. So I can't confirm if these are real pages, but it looks like there's a whole bunch out there that's not confirmed. I'll just finish the Tennessean at least. In the same document, updated 4 hours before the shooting, the writer expressed dismay at having to speed up an original plan to commit the shooting on Thursday and said their goal was to kill at least 10 people alongside a specifically targeted elementary school teacher who was not named. Damn. He had a list. He had a kill list with at least one elementary school teacher name. On the Blue Sky account linked in the document, a post on Wednesday morning read, "Today seems like a good day to die." The shooter also appeared to have live streamed the attack. Wednesday night, Kik confirmed the shooting was partially live streamed. In another document linked to the shooter's alleged social media, which were all under various pseudonyms, a nearly 50-page rant lays out more detailed motivations and inspirations for the attack. And this is still all from the Tennessean. Candace Owens, a Nashville-based conservative commentator who was recently temporarily suspended from YouTube for hate speech, is credited in the document as being the shooter's biggest inspiration. What is going on here? This person's biggest inspiration. Candace Owens. But why? What drove them to do it? Obviously, it was Candace Owens. And he names others. Nick Fuentes. He names other names you've heard. But you understand the point that they're saying this guy, this person in this alleged manifesto is saying he was is there a particular group or groups of people that radicalized you the most? This is all in the alleged documents, you know, purported to be written by Solomon Henderson. It reads, is there a particular group or people that radicalized you the most? And he responds, allegedly, Candace Owens, Ethan Ralph, who's been on the JLP show, Nick Fuentes, who's been on the JLP show, a couple of more names that I don't know, Mr. Beast. Someone explain that one to me. Mr. Beast is an allegedly cited by the shooter as one of this person's most radicalizing influences. Look, Mr. Beast. You're talking about the guy with the crazy thumbnails who goes around just look at this crazy thing. I helped 2,000 people walk again. This guy radicalized him. 2,000 people fight for $5 million. These are the titles to his YouTube videos. 50 YouTubers fight for $1 million. $456,000 Squid Game in real life. 700. I'm sorry. I'm like looking at the number of views. Did I read that correctly? Am I reading that correctly? 724 million views. 724 million views. I think the most viewed YouTube video of all time is like billions. It's like Gangnam Style or something. It's probably been usurped. But this is the guy allegedly the one that radicalized him. 7 days stranded on an island. What is going on here? There's like the incel shooter. Like, what's going on here? What is really going on? They're saying, this guy's saying, Mr. Beast, Destiny, Hassan Piker, really? So he expands on this, allegedly, if this is really his. To expand on this, Candace Owens has influenced me above all. Each time she spoke, I was stunned by her insights and her own views. Stunned. Stunned by her insights and her own views, helped push me further and further into the belief of violence over the Jewish question, along with these other people, pushing me to the alt-right pipeline. What? Someone really wrote that? These people pushed me on the alt-right. Who talks like that? You know who talks like that? Children who have heard other people talk. Call this a cope, call this a stretch. But have you noticed that's how children talk? They'll hear other people talk. It's like when you hear a young child speak up in church. They say it says in the Bible that a wise man is he who brings sheep to the Lord. It's like where'd you hear that, you little youngin? You know what I mean? It's like, where'd you hear that? What preacher was mom listening to on the radio the other day? You know what I mean? It's like, what right-wing accounts have you been following that you put together this supposed plan and belief? Does this sound like a normal belief? Candace Owens and other right-wing people pushed me down the alt-right pipeline. That's not even normal talking. That's like someone who heard something and said, yeah, that's what happened to me. Oh, yeah, that's what's happening to me. Oh, anxiety, they like when they hear a doctor say something, if you feel or they heard someone say that when you feel your personality and your emotions change so much, it might mean you have multiple personality disorder. And they hear that and they're like, that's me. I have multiple personality. That's me. I'm an alt-right pipeline person. I know maybe I'm speaking out of turn here. Like, I don't know what I'm saying. It's just my impression. But we're reading this. It reads, we're taught violence and extremism by video games, music, literature, or cinema. Yes, following music called incelcore taught me to kill. Kanye West and playing games like CSGO, Manhunt, Postal, Doom, Mega Chud. This is a joke. Whatever. It all taught him have mentally prepared me for, what does that read? Have mentally prepared me for murder, he allegedly wrote. But it's never that. You understand? It's never, ever that. It's literally never that. These shooters, they'll say it's because of this. Remember when we were talking about Natalie Rupp now? And she was like, oh, it's because they have these reasons, like the world is messed up. And then you read and you see the part where they reveal that they are feeling no love. They're feeling unloved, and now they're lashing out. Thoughts on black people. Whoa. So this person is apparently writing all this. Anyways, allegedly, thank you, He-Go-Wains. Thank you, He-Go-Wains with the super chat says, y'all know he released his company mission statement and orientation reports and how they operate if y'all want to pick up tips. Like it's easy. What are you talking about? Y'all know he released his company mission statement and orientation reports and how they operate. Are you talking about this person here? It's just silly to think Candace Owens and video games, even if they write something down like that, has any real as it stands up at all to the influence of your own obsessions in mind. You can be upset. You can get into anything, man. You can get into anything, and guess what? School shooting is apparently a genre. It's apparently a genre of content. People are watching Natalie Rupp now saying, I'm inspired by her. Natalie Rupp now was inspired by other shooters. There's a whole community of these people online. I forget what they call themselves, but they all congregate on forums, and they're all usually pretty nonviolent they're usually pretty nonviolent. They just talk a lot of ish, but every now and then one of them actually goes out and does something, and these forums are all like surprised. They're like, I mean, yeah, I remember Natalie Rupp now. I remember talking about wanting to kill people online, but I thought it was just all talk. Some of these accounts were saying, if you remember, it was just all talk. It really is. It's really been interesting too to see the different faces. It's like a randomizer these days. They're just pulling the lever on the randomizer for the school shooter. It's like, right wing, incel, femcel, right wing, female, femcel, fit female, ring. What's it now? It's black incel. Okay, before it was like transgender radical. It's like they're all united by anger. I mean, I wish I could tell you something deeper. That's pretty deep, but that's all I know. So that's it right there. Emo Blatt is wild. Yeah, what's up with this cultural appropriation? Black people, and I think it's fine. I'm just making a joke. about like like cultural appropriation, but I think it's fine. I shout out the black emos and the black. You've seen them out there. They watch anime. They they're nerdy. And they're black. So shout out. Anything else on this? I think we're set. We are done. That's pretty much a little bit on the shooter and all that. What a mess. And that's the show. Damn, the time flew. I did the show. That's the story. The calls, the super chats, and all the support. John Gawain says, the people have spoken. No. He says, and all the supporters on Rumble. What's up, Quartus? 706-145. DLive.tv. Back at ya. Very nice. What else? Friday is upon us. I'll be back with you tomorrow after the Fallen State. So, catch Jesse, catch the Hake Report, sit back, enjoy the Fallen State. I'll be live as soon as the Fallen State episode is over. So I'll see you tomorrow for a fine Friday. Take care. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. And are we missing anything else here? Nah, I think that's it. Okay. Well, appreciate everybody, the support, the super chats, the calls. We did the topics. That's the show. Take care. An absolute pleasure as always. And I shall see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.